I'm here in San Luis Obispo with Dialed Health athlete Lance Haidet, and I brought along local ripper Jacob Velasco. Jacob, what are we doing?
We're gonna learn what it's like to do course recon with a pro. Yeah, today we're checking out the course. This race is a little different than most of the ones we do throughout the year because it's broken up into 3 time segments, kind of enduro style. So even though we do a 100-mile loop, only 3 sections of the course actually matter for the overall. And today we're gonna do a little pre-ride, check out those sections, link them together, and yeah, let's go do it.
Let's get rolling.
All right, so here we are. This is called Rocky Canyon. This is one of the 3 sectors of the day. This one in particular is quite a tricky one because it's right around 7 miles, and the first mile is up this single track. It's rocky, it's loose, and it's about a mile climb that's pretty steep. Hear these guys roll. And when you look at this entire race as a whole, you would most likely want to run a road tire that's high volume. I would run like a 35 Mondo, a slick tire. But because segments like this are the actual time portions, I'm opting for a 42, just having a little more volume, better traction, and getting over these rocks a little easier. One of the big game day decisions is going to be deciding whether or not to attack on this, because this climb is a mile. If you're a good mountain biker, you can definitely get a gap. However, once you crest it, you then have roughly 5 miles of false flat downhill gravel, and then it turns into the last 2 miles of pavement. And yeah, if there's a group behind you and you're off solo pushing the wind, it's gonna be hard to stay away. So yeah, we'll see what happens on race day. I think you'll just have to see how you feel.
We're on another section of gravel for the race, and it's so wildly different from the chunky single track that I wanted to make the point that whether you choose a tire for this section or you choose a tire for that section, you're gonna love it for part of it and you're gonna hate it for another part. And that's very common with most gravel races. You have this perfect tire at some point during the race, but not the entire time.
So yeah, we're on Kyler Canyon. This is the first climbing sector of the day. Out of the 3 sectors, it's definitely the hardest. It's like almost 3 miles of pretty legit climbing, and it gets steeper and steeper as you go up it. So it's the first one of the day. I mean, obviously you don't want to blow everything you have on this one, but I do think this is where time gaps are going to happen. So I think it's important to dig deep, and then
Why would time gaps happen on this stage opposed to the other stages more?
I think this one is just the most sustained, like, hard effort. The other ones, there's hard sections, but I think a group will stick together longer just because there's more drafting. Where I mean, this is it's a proper climb. It's probably 12 to 15 minutes of like legit threshold stuff. So it's hard, and I think it'll just blow apart when attacks start going. The key with this one is because it is early on, you're gonna go hard. As soon as you're done with this stage, you gotta be on top of fueling. Just trying to keep the tank full after a hard effort. And it's a long day.
That's a really good tip about a stage race like this, because you are more of a rolly on and off effort.
For sure.
So it's like as soon as you're done with this, just try and get in the carbs.
Yeah.
Refuel with water.
Yep. I mean, you're going to be spinning, and it's a long day, so like even just riding at endurance pace, it adds up. The funny thing about this course is like the actual 2 hardest climbs and longest climbs of the entire day are not time sectors. So yeah, you think you're just going to chill in between them, but they're actually like solid 20 to 30 minute climbs. So those will be coming up after this.
Yeah, that's a great point, making sure to stay on top of your fuel, even though a lot of this course won't be timed, but a lot of people might forget to fuel, but like Lance was saying, it's really important to stay on top of it throughout the race, so.
Totally.
And I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes right now.
Obviously, and it's dark.
It's getting dark. So we're gonna finish this climb out to check it out, and then we're going to head to dinner and just talk about some more details, including what Lance is gonna do for his openers for the race to get his body primed and ready.
Heck yeah.
And so we'll see you there.
Right on.
It's the night before the race. We went out today and rode with the community ride that was part of the event. And we ended up doing some pretty spicy openers and added a little addition. And I've realized a lot of people have their own methods to prepping the day before a race, whether that's full on rest or doing some type of openers. What do you prefer and why?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely someone who likes being open. Like, if I have a day completely off the bike before a race, I'm typically going to be pretty flat on race day. So my go-to, I don't really have like a ton of structure when it goes to openers. For a gravel race like tomorrow, it's 100 miles. I'll typically want to do a little longer ride. I think we got close to like 2 hours today, so hour and a half to 2 hours good. And typically I'll get like a couple accelerations in, and then like we were doing today when we did some pace line stuff. I mean, for me, I basically will just ramp it up, ride it like a good threshold, maybe even VO2 max pace, and roll to the point where you feel like, yeah, this is really starting to hurt, and then push it just a little beyond that, and then shut it off. Like, for me, it's like
that's what we did today, because
totally,
we had a group of probably 5 fast dudes out of nowhere start pulling on the front, and we ended up doing about 5 minutes of pace lining.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say toward the end of that, for me at least, I started to feel that way. I was like, okay,
yeah, and
like,
then
how long are we gonna do this?
Totally, right? Totally. So that, I mean, that's, for me, that's what I found works, is like, yeah, you want to get the engine rolling, you want to like really kind of engage the muscles, get the heart pumping, and then when you get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm starting to add some fatigue right now, turn it off.
Shut it down.
Yeah. And maybe you do a couple of those. Like, I think we did 2 harder efforts today.
Yeah.
And yeah, anywhere from like the 90-second to 4 or 5 minute mark. And yeah, that's what works for me.
Yeah, and now we're pretty much just rolling, stretching, using using percussion guns. Wait, what are they called? Massage guns?
Yeah.
Using massage guns. And we got plenty of floor space because you just moved into the spot, and we don't have
Yeah, dude,
furniture,
all we
so-
got in here is a guitar, a bunch of bikes that you can't see at the moment, and
This is the ultimate bachelor pad. You have
dude, it's
just
killer.
$10,000 bike, $10,000 bike, no couch.
Yes. Dude, sitting on the ground is killer. You can stretch.
Foam
all
roll your
the
heart
time.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My best wind down is just using a massage gun for 5 minutes or so, going over your body and then doing some static stretches, using a foam roller for leverage. I think that as a nightly wind down routine is great, but especially before a race. Jacob, do you have any pre-race habits, rituals?
Not too much, you know, just the basics, like setting all my stuff out the night before, getting everything ready to go, getting my plan in place for the day, and then just kind of, like you said, unwinding. I like to do a combination of Derek's foam rolling and his stretching, and it's a great way for me to wind down and get ready for the big day. So yeah.
So yeah, we'll be up at 5:30 tomorrow. We'll be eating our oats,
Eggs and oats,
eggs and
Pancakes.
oats, and pancakes.
And pancakes, good.
And we'll be getting out there to register and ride. But hopefully you guys can take something away from this video, whether that's just your tire choice or looking at an overall course, or even if it's just adding a little bit of rolling and stretching the night before. And until next time, start moving forward.
Yes, definitely.
We got it.